Hello, today we're going to skim read for information about an important person in Indiana history. We'll be using this to make a slide in our history projects tomorrow, so you'll want to have your notes done today so that tomorrow you're up to speed. Step 1 is going to be choose a person's biography. We're going to copy and share a doc with our teacher, skim read, and take notes on key topics. Let's get started. Your first step, and I want you to do this and pause the video while you're doing it, is to go to the Canvas page and choose one of these biographies. I've chosen about the same number of men and women from all across Indiana history. Some people are alive, some people are dead. So I want you to look and see if there's someone who stands out to you. Click on those biographies and decide who you are going to write notes about today. Pause the video and do that. Okay, I'm assuming that you have someone who you have chosen their biography. I'm going to choose Levi Coffin. Okay, now we can do step number 2. Step 2 is to make a copy of the biography notes page and share it with your teacher. You can find it up here in number 2 or down here where I just read it. Either way, you'll get a document called Name Biography Notes, and it has the 5 things that I need you to find in your person's biography and take notes about. How do we make a copy of that? Well, we press the triple dots, we go down to Share and Export, we make a copy. Before we share it with our teacher, we should rename it with your name. So come up to the 3-dot menu and touch the title of the document. Change it to your first name, biography notes. And then you can share it with me or with Ms. Reinheimer. Okay? So pause the video and do that now. Copy the biography notes. Okay, now that you've done that, we can go on to the next step. We're going to skim read and take notes on the key topics. So I'm going to look at Levi Coffin's webpage and skim read. My first thing that I'm looking for is his birth date. That means the day and the year that he was born. Okay, right at the beginning it says the year was 1798 to 1877, but I don't see the date. That's the year, the day and the year together. So I'm going to skim read. I'm going to look over and see until I find more dates. Ooh, 1861 to 1865. No, that was the Civil War. That's not when he was born. Okay, I see a date here, October 28th, 1798. It says Coffin was born on that date, so I'm going to use that information in my notes. Birth date and year. Okay, I think I got that right. Let me go back and check for sure. Okay, and then it says right here in New Garden, Greensboro, North Carolina. So the birthplace is usually right next to the birth date. Okay, pause your video right here and go do this. Find the birth date, that's the day and the year that that person was born, and the birthplace, where they were born, using skim reading. Okay, welcome back. I'm assuming that your notes now have a birth date and a birthplace. Now here is one of the little harder things to find, why they're important or famous. You might actually have to read instead of skim reading. Some paragraphs will be about things like their early life. I can kind of look just by skimming over this and see that this is about the start of his life, and I'm not really interested in that. I want to know why he's famous or important. So I'm going to read in depth later on. Okay. Okay, so he was on a route of the Underground Railroad. He made his home a depot on the Underground Railroad. He helped persuade his neighbors to contribute clothing and supplies. Okay, I think this paragraph is telling me why he's important. So I'm going to write notes that I take from this paragraph. As I take notes on this, I'm going to try to tell myself what I read in my own words, so I'm not copying someone's ideas out of their text. Okay, so I thought I read that and I kind of rephrased it to myself. He helped people get to the north on their escaped slave journey. And then it says that there were over 3,000 fugitive slaves who passed through his home. Always nice to be able to include a detail with a number in it. So, I want you to pause your video and try this as well. We're looking for the reasons they're important or famous. You should be able to come up with 2 or 3 sentences here. This is going to be kind of the chunkiest bit of your biography. Pause the video and find it. Okay, welcome back. All of these people are people who did something in Indiana. Some of them were born here, some of them died here, some of them lived here. You need to find what they did in Indiana. So, my recommendation to you is to either skim read for the word Indiana in your text, or to find the secret sauce special route to finding a word on a web page. You go up here to the address bar, delete what's in the address bar, and then I want you to type the word that we're looking for. We want to know what this person did in Indiana. He wasn't born in Indiana, so I need to check. What did he do in Indiana? I'm going to type the word Indiana. Down here at the bottom of the page, it says, on this page, find Indiana. One match. There's only one Indiana on this page? Okay, so I'm going to find it. And when I tap that, it highlights Indiana. Now I can read the sentence, when he moved to Newport, Indiana, he discovered he was on a route of the Underground Railroad. Okay, so his house that he changed into the Underground Railroad depot was in Indiana. If you have lots of things in Indiana, you'll be able to tap the up and down buttons down here to find the other entries. So, okay, my last thing that I have to find is a little bit easier. It's just when they died. So before you go find when they died, I want you to figure out what they did in Indiana using either skim reading or the find tool that I taught you about. Okay, you should have paused your video and found what they did in Indiana. Now you're just looking for when did they die, or if they didn't die and they're still alive. So, you can look for skim read for a date like I did earlier. Often their death will be at the very bottom. It'll be the last thing they do, right? Coffin died on September 16th, 1877 in Cincinnati. Okay, I'm going to go back and check I got that number right. September 16th, yes. Okay, so Let's check and make sure that we followed all of Mr. Davison's steps. Did we choose a person's biography? We did. We copied and shared a notes doc with the teacher? We did. We skim read and took notes on all of the important topics. We found the birth date and birthplace, why they were famous, what he did in Indiana, and when he died. He's not still alive. Okay, if you've done all those things, you are done for today, and you are ready to write a biography of your person tomorrow.